I would say before I had no really like characteristics or traits of like a leader. I was just like a pretty good IGL in the game, but it's way bigger than that, man. Like I've had, MCE, I've had Josh like coach me up on like, dude, you are not leading this team properly. You're the one falling under the pressure. The guys look at you when things go hard in the game. And I've had to had bad losses. I've had to had, those moments where I'm not like standing up to the moment, like, and being hard on my team. Sometimes I'd kind of like turtle up. And all of those lessons just taught me to be more externally focused on my teammates, because if you get all the boys together believing on the same page, it doesn't matter how well you do, your boys are going to take you home.
Everyone, Sage here. I am with a very happy person right now. I'm here with Jacob Valyn of G2 Esports. Finally, after multiple years, multiple different triumphs and failures, playing in the tier 2 scene, not really in your control. Finally, you get to sit here in Los Angeles as someone that is going to Valorant Champions. So, initial thoughts. How are you feeling, man?
I'm very happy, of course. It kind of feels like everything was building for this moment. A lot of hard work and practice, a lot of failures as well. I lost 100 Thieves actually in LCQ Grand Finals before. And, they were beating us the whole year. So it feels so good, man. It feels so good to qualify. It feels so good to beat them, especially because I feel like they're a team that likes to talk a lot, or at least Boostio. I always like shutting people up. So that feels good. I would say I'm someone who also moves on kind of fast, though, in terms of that. Like, I feel like after today, I'm just going to be locked in on trying to win the trophy. That's been my mindset my entire career. So I'm ecstatic today, but I know myself. I'm just going to go back and reset and keep pushing forward because I want to win champs and win Americas, especially.
I do remember that period because I remember specifically in that bracket, you had not lost a single match in that LCQ, go into the grand final, and then that's the only match you did lose.
Yeah.
Let's actually go back to that moment because I feel as if apart from Reykjavik, that was the first, major loss for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about the emotions that you're feeling at that moment, knowing you weren't going to be going to champs and that, you had to process. Yeah, talk to me about it.
Yeah, I remember I instantly like texted my mom and I was like, because she was watching. At that time, she was a bit newer to watching me play, so she didn't understand the stakes of how important that was. And I was so devastated. I was in Minnesota because we were boot camping. It was an online tournament. So, yeah, we were at V1 facility. I lose, and I felt like I played terribly that day. And I had a lot of reflections after, like, why did I felt nervous in that match. I wasn't thinking clear-headed. And everything just felt like it was falling apart. It was the end of the year as well. Like, it was a very devastating moment, but using that sting kind of built me forward. And I think everyone needs that in their career, those hard losses, to build from it, understand yourself more, reflect. I feel like I learned about myself a lot that when I lost that, and what, like, everything I'm touching on, like, nerves, performance, like, everything is just so big in this industry, competing, that I was like, next time I'm in this moment, I'm not going to mess it up.
Let's actually now fast forward to that moment, and we'll talk more about the rest of your career and in between. But you talked to me how right before this, you were able to see your family and just talk to them. Knowing that now that the first thing that you did after you lost against 100 Thieves back in 2022 was call your mom, talk to her about it. How did it feel to be able to just go up to her, somewhat of a similar moment, bigger stage, bigger crowd, 100 Thieves again, you beat them, and you could finally say, Mom, I made it to champs.
Yeah, it definitely a full circle moment, right? It doesn't get more full circle than that, but I haven't seen her in 7 months ever since we started this thing. I mean, even before the new year, we were boot camping, so honestly, like, close to 8-9 months, I haven't seen them, my whole family, and I'm a pretty family-oriented like guy, so it meant a lot to be able to see her. And I could just tell, like, it almost felt like she was happier than me. She was like jumping for joy. Everyone in my family was so happy. And to share this moment with them means so much, because I've had big wins in my career that I just kind of spend alone. And to have them actually come out here and watch for the first time as well, like, it means the world.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely great when you get to spend these moments with your family instead of winning and just, oh yay, I get to party on Zoom. I get to go on Discord.
Yeah, I get to go on Discord and get lit on Discord.
It's like, hey, yo, Jonah, let's trying to play some more Ring.
Yep. Actually, it's like that. Maybe throw on a stream or here and there, but I feel like now I'm gonna go celebrate properly. Get some dinner with them and just reset for the next match tomorrow. There's not much time to celebrate, unfortunately. I wish I could have had something because this moment is so big. But it is what it is. We're just gonna go out and we're gonna do our thing again tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask you, because getting to this moment, like you were talking about, had a lot of trials and tribulations, and you are the IGL, so you are the leader of this team, and you've been a part of this project ever since the Guard was even before a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about the biggest thing that you had to overcome and learn as an IGL, and someone that's kind of a younger IGL. You're born, 2003, right? Yeah.
21.
Yeah, talk to me about just maturing through that process, because you're still young.
For sure. I mean, I could probably talk all day about maturing from the beginning to now. Like, I was probably fresh 18 when I first joined Guard, roughly. And I'm IGLing a group of guys that are older than me. We got some vets like Saya player on the team. And it felt like a big task of responsibility put on me, but I'm always up to the challenge. I would say before, I had no really characteristics or traits of a leader. I was just like a pretty good IGL in the game, but it's way bigger than that, man. I've had, MCE, I've had Josh coach me up on dude, you are not leading this team properly. You're the one falling under the pressure. The guys look at you when things go hard in the game. And I've had to had bad losses. I've had to had, those moments where I'm not standing up to the moment, and being hard on my team. Sometimes I'd kind of turtle up. And all of those lessons just taught me to be more externally focused on my teammates, because if you get all the boys together, believing on the same page, it doesn't matter how well you do, your boys are going to take you home. And I would say my entire leadership, it just revolves around that, getting the guys on the same page out of the game, in the game, keeping focus high. We work hard, man. We work really hard, and I have to be the one to tell my guys, I'm sorry, but there's no day off this weekend, and I just got to push them forward. But yeah, all in all, it takes a lot of lessons to get to this point, and I'm only 21, so I'm grateful to be in this position. I'm going to continue. I'm not perfect at all, but I'm glad I started young in my career to be able to kind of take that in and now apply it in these moments.
Yeah, and it's very interesting because, like you were saying, you're only 21, right? But then there's so much of a emphasis put on the IGL and to be this pillar of strength almost, right? When you do go through some of these tough periods as someone in your position where you are the leader and have to maintain at least some semblance of strength, even with media interviews, you're probably going to be the one that has to take them on after a really tough loss.
Yeah.
How do you maintain such strength when you yourself may want to just break down and cry, or you want to just take some time to yourself?
I mean, it's hard to say, it's hard to pinpoint it on one thing. I think it really just, the answer is just how I was raised. I've always been a competitor. I played sports growing up. Yeah, I played football growing up. I played basketball. So I've always been someone who can kind of face the noise and face the adversity, even when times are tough. I've had, hard things happen. So at the end of the day, we're playing a video game. I take the loss, I move on, and it does sting. I have had matches that I probably went home and I cried all night because I lost 100 Thieves, losing to them and to not make champs. I think it really just is my personality, man. I'm always going to try to look strong for the people around me, even if I'm not feeling that way. Yeah, I don't want people to perceive me as weak, especially my guys around me. So regardless of what happens, I try to keep my chin up, and within internally, I just take how I'm feeling and try to reflect on it and, just move forward. You always got to move forward in whatever you do.
Yeah. I know you want to move forward, but I do want to actually go back again, because it's so wild that you're in this position going to champions, because last year you were playing in the tier 2 scene.
Yeah.
And honestly, throughout that, it felt like M80 was probably the team that was the favorite to qualify to even get to this point. And then after that, on top of that, you find out that you might not even be able to be playing in the scene. 2023, And yeah, 2023 was just seemed like a really tough year for you, where it's clear that you were a player that could play at the tier 1 level, but then you were in a little kind of like purgatory in your career. What was that like?
I would say my mindset throughout that year was like, it's okay to be going through this adversity right now because it's just going to build me up, kind of like how I was similarly talking. Like, I always try to have like a positive mental on things. You know, any player, any person can just feel sorry for themselves in that situation. But I credit Josh RT as well, because he's a very great leader guy and I learned from him a lot. And he would just always flip the scenario into a positive somehow. Like, yeah, guys, we might not have an org, but like, you know, I don't know exactly what he would say, but he would always try to just flip it into being more positive about things, and we'd take lessons and learn from it. And I think that's why this all came together. We've had a pretty hard route throughout our careers, but because we were able to overcome all those, we're able to learn more, gain self-confidence and confidence within the boys around you, because you went through hell and back to get here. That, you know, these matches, grand finals, whatever the case may be, we're going to trust each other the max. So it was honestly a blessing that it turned out that way, even though the outside perspective is like, oh, it's so bad for them. But, you know, we just learned from it and just flip it into a positive.
All right, I want to give you this last minute to be able to just speak to the fans, speak to your family, speak from your heart, just really what's going through your mind, how this emotion feels, because tomorrow you're going to start practicing again. So embrace this moment. Talk about it.
To the fans first, I thank you guys so much, because support definitely helps me a lot and it helps the boys around me. It's always nice to have people cheer for you and believe in you. So for everyone who, you know, trusted G2 this year, thank you so much. And for my family, my girlfriend, like, you guys mean the world to me, of course. And I'm very grateful that you guys were able to show up today and watch me win. I'm glad that it was a winning moment. And yeah, hopefully this is like the real kickstart of G2 Valorant and myself, because I've dreamed of being in this position and now I'm not going to let it go.